Welcome back to Piano Chats. I'm going to speak a moment about manufacturing plants. So, the first one that I ever went to was Steinway in New York. It was awesome. It was the old buildings there in Long Island, and it was in Queens. It was awesome because there weren't a whole lot of people, and you could see how the work was done, how meticulous it was. Awesome piano company. I know things have changed with Steinway, but I still think it's an awesome company. Anybody that's left right now in the music business, I consider it an awesome company because it's hard to stay in business, build a good product, and represent the best that you can. So that's Steinway. I've been to their factory probably 60, 70 times in the course of years, maybe more. I did a lot of selections there. Great company to work with. And the second company I want to talk about is going to be the Hamburg Steinway company. I had the privilege of meeting Werner Husmann when he was vice president, and he took me through the factory there in Hamburg. Awesome factory again. Now they only build about 900 pianos a year, but they sell out every year. And it's an awesome piano. So Hamburg is the piano of Europe, and probably the concert scene too, more so than the American piano. And people might want to differ, but you talk to the pianist, and it's the Hamburg. It's a pretty awesome piano. So the Hamburg plant, Werner actually started working there, just cleaning up, and worked his way up to vice president. And then he became president later. Awesome person. We did a selection for Denver University, Hamburg C&D there, with Ted Lichtman, who was the head of the piano department at DU at the time. So that was an awesome time. Werner even took us to the train station, got us on the train, because my wife was from Sweden, and we headed up to Sweden on the train, which is pretty awesome. So great people. Again, another great company. The next company would be, if you're coming down to the southeast, would be Bösendorfer in Austria. A lot of people think it's German. It's not. It's made in Vienna, Austria. And 1828, oldest piano right now of quality. They make 300 pianos a year. And there's some things that they do that a lot of manufacturers don't do. They actually take steel wire and wrap the strings in copper by hand, one string at a time. You can only do that if you make a few hundred pianos. You can't do that at 1,000 or whatever. It wouldn't be enough time. But once you see that and you see how they do it, it's pretty awesome. Bösendorfer is an incredible manufacturing plant. It's not many people. The rim spruce is spruce, the inner rim is spruce, the beams are spruce, the soundboard's spruce. I mean, it's nothing but sound. It sustains more than any other piano I've played. In fact, you could use the pedal too much because the notes sustain so long that they carry. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, and they carry over sound. So that piano company is thinking about expanding a little bit because it's become a very popular piano. It's kind of like going up in production, and they are just a phenomenal company, phenomenal people to work with and for. We'll be going out there again, probably not this fall, but next spring. So if you're listening to this Piano Chats, if you want to go, we're making a selection for people that are a trip and a tour for people that want to go, that have put deposits on pianos. We'll take them out. You can look. We'll take you out to dinner. We'll go to the opera house and have a great time. And then the next piano company, and this is still in Europe, is Schimmel in Braunschweig, Germany. So they're an excellent company also. They have had a change of hands to his ownership, but they still build a great piano. Schimmel is actually the #1 selling piano of Germany, but they never really built a 9-foot concert grand. That's why you don't hear about them as a concert grand. But for the home, their uprights are excellent. Their smaller grands are great. They build an awesome semi-concert grand, the K230, which I have at my church. Awesome piano. And but they just started making a 9-foot concert grand, but puts them in that field. But before that, they really controlled the market for Europe because they built a great piano, for everyone. So that was part of Schimmel's legacy, was being able to say that they were the #1 manufacturer of Europe. But they built this great for a company that makes not that many pianos, but they are a great company to work with also. The other companies that are still in Europe are Pleyel, out of France, out of Paris. But unfortunately, just from talking to people, everybody told me that they were in Paris and built totally in France, and unfortunately they're not. So this video chat is to let you know that they are built in China. So everybody talks about the Chinese pianos, they're going over there, building them and bringing them back, or putting parts over there and everything else. No, if they're built in China, they're built in China. If they're built in Indonesia, they're built in Indonesia. If people say, well, you just put the parts in and they bring them here and we put them back together here in the States, there's no such thing. There aren't those kind of facilities here. So I don't know if that gets that straightened out, but and then there's a couple other companies. There's Blüthner and Bechstein, they're also in Germany. The only other company is Fazioli in northeastern Italy. A great company, they only build a couple pianos here also. That actually, I haven't been to that factory yet. I've been invited. So Luca is now the president. His father Paolo is he and his son own the company, but Luca's doing most of the work now. So besides those companies, for Europe, that's about it. England did have a company that was that made a couple pianos, but they were owned actually by Yamaha. And so that takes it for Europe. I'll be back with some more chatting in about a day or so. Thanks.